Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for showing up today for today's real estate video on Subject to Made Simple by Victor Bell, where I go over Subject to investing is how we buy houses. It's how I've been doing it forever. It's inside of our investor school, which I like to call the ultimate real estate system, the only system you'll ever need, where we go over everything that I do over and over and over again and how I buy houses with none of my own money, none of my own credit, and we continue to make great money on our residential side. So today I wanted to go over something I thought was really important. I actually wrote it down so I don't get long because I can, and I talk fast, guys, if you haven't noticed. Which the biggest risk in Subject to, there's actually two. The two biggest risks that you're going to uncover in Subject to as an investor. Number one is going to be the due on sale clause, and number two is going to be refinancing that property or reselling the property. So I'll address the due on sale clause. All loans have a due on sale clause in them, period, right? You don't pay, they call the loan due, and that's kind of how that works. It's a clause. It's at the lender's right. They can do it. So no matter what, that's a risk to us, right? It's a risk to the seller, but it's always a risk to us. We got to know that there's a due on sale clause. And then the other thing that's risky to us is turning around and trying to refinance the property. So how do we solve these risks? Sorry, my shirt's I'm getting bigger, so my shirt's looking kind of tight. How do you solve these risks? For me, it's just our disclosures. Inside of Investor School, you get access to all my documents, all of my disclosures that say you understand there's a due on sale clause in your mortgage. And if the due on sale clause gets triggered, you are willing to hold Victor and my parties, whoever's involved with me, harmless, right? Not sue us, not go after us. You understand what you're doing. There's a letter of explanation, that of understanding there. So that's one of the ways that we de-risk ourselves when taking over these properties. So I don't mind having this conversation with the seller, because if they go, nope, I don't want to deal with that. What if? And I'm like concerned that they're so concerned that they become a problem throughout the transaction, because I'm really the one taking the risk. I'm buying this property. I'm taking over the payments, putting the property into an asset, a trust that we control. If something goes wrong, if I have a problem with a tenant, if I have a problem at title, if I got a leaky roof, I'm responsible for that. So if they also become one of my problems along the way for something that may or may not happen, man, I'm going to opt out. I'm like, look, if you're not good with this, if this is going to keep you up at night, don't do this, because I don't want to be, worried about you and worried about other issues. Now, it's never been an issue, but I need to be aware of that. That's a risk I need to be aware of when I'm buying Subject to deals. So that's a problem. So that's how I de-risk it. I make sure that my CYA letters are signed, sealed, and delivered, notarized, and they understand. I have like 3 of those with a lot of questions that they have to notarize to say, yes, I understand. Next, the refinance part. I've seen guys who have a problem that take over properties and they don't have the correct documentation. Again, all of my documents are inside of Investor School. Anybody gets those, you have access to them. But if you don't have the right documents in place, let's say you didn't do your deed docs right, you didn't file them correctly, you don't have the right insurances in there, or worse, you're trying to refinance or resell this property, there's power of attorneys that need to be done. There's specific power of attorneys for your state that you got to get upon closing. So we may have a limited power of attorney, but then there's a special power of attorney that also says that you can do this. What if the seller dies, right? What if you're dealing with and you don't have that right? And they go, hey, you got to go back and get this done. It's happened to me in the past, which is how I've learned how to fix this stuff over the years, because I've done so many deals. So like, those are the risks that you're going to take when you are a Subject to buyer. I know what they are. People who've been in the business know what they are, but I wanted to share this with you guys on this video, that these are the 2 main risks: the due on sale clause, how to address them, and then also trying to refinance or resell that property, because you can't refinance a property inside of a trust. You got to take it out of a trust. There needs to be documents in place to be able to do that, and then put it back into the trust. So that way, if you're refinancing because you're cashing this person out because there's a bunch of equity and you're doing a cash out refi, you got to have all that stuff handled. It's going to hit title, and they're going to be like, hey, you need to do this. It's going to suck if you don't have it right and have to go back to the seller and go, hey, I know it's been like 5 years or 6 years since we've been paying on it. I'm going to refinance, cash you guys out. Oh, by the way, I'm going to take out $500,000. And would you mind signing this paper? Depending on the seller and where their life is in the moment, they may go, yeah, I can do that, but I'm kind of hurting right now. Do you think you can help? You need to know that we're on the other side of the fence here. I'm sharing with you the reality of being a real estate investor. I know some people want to flip these things, wholesale the contracts to somebody else, but when I do Subject tos, I keep them. I hold on to them. I'm the owner. I'm not selling my paperwork to somebody else for fast money. I'm actually putting these things on my balance sheet. They become a part of my net worth, depending on how and whether I'm keeping them long term or short term. So I have answers to problems that other people try to pass the buck on, right? That's how those people get sued. I'm trying to keep all of my people out of court. So I hope this helps. Those are the two things you got to look out for, and those are my two ways to handle them. Just be upfront. Make sure your paperwork is right. Make sure they have something to sign. Make sure it protects you, and it also protects them. And make sure all your other paperwork for refinancing, reselling the property, make sure you don't have to go back to them. All of those documentations are in place, and you need to know what that is. That's why I always tell people, close with the title company in the beginning, close with the closing agent in the beginning or an attorney, and make sure that your documentation, even the ones that we give you, there's nothing missing. If there's anything you need to add and or take away, then it's there. So, but that's the risk. That's how you fix it. All right, I hope this helps you guys. Go to sub2madesimple.com. You can get more information, or you can go to bell-capital.com/real estate training. And I want you to get access to Investor School. All of the stuff is in there. All of our trainings, all about the big money from Pretty House Business is in there. Negotiating, handling objections, closing strategies, creative financing, all the 20 ways that we do that to be able to add to the repertoire, to your arsenal, to be able to go out there and get deals and make a lot of money doing Subject 2. All right, you guys have a great day today.